see the beauty lies underneath the skin's rich, just like gold. They wish they had it.
I remember the first thing that I heard with regards to black women, they were like, no, black girls are too high maintenance, they expect too much, they're too loud, they're too everything. So literally, a lot of the guys would not date black girls. Like I didn't date anyone in high school.
In this age of social media and publicity and grabbing as much attention as you can, it's like a man who's seen with a conventionally light-skinned pretty woman would get more attention than a conventionally dark-skinned woman.
If we see the club scene and the things that we see, for instance, in music videos and online, etc., and the depictions of the club scene, definitely I would say that there's a particular type of woman who is projected as the most attractive type of woman. She's usually light-skinned, she's usually slender, she usually has long, straight hair, she has got a full face of makeup, and yeah, in that regard, then the club scene would probably still then be a reflection of real life.
Skin bleaching, in a nutshell, unnecessary.
I think the focal point of why people bleach will always come down to history.
The history of colorism there are multiple histories, particularly in African societies and in what would we call them, post-colonial societies, so societies that have undergone particularly European colonization and slavery. The history really is the idea that particular races had access to privileges and honor and prestige within the society, and they would then award prestige and privileges to people who looked similar to them or people who were perceived to be closer to them.
I don't think that it would be fair to tell darker skinned women to not bleach their skin, because this is the reality of the situation socially, and these things are very difficult to get out of society or even highlight them so that society can try and change these things.
If you consider the reasons why people bleach their skin, you can start to see a lot of rationality and calculations in the decision making. The desire to be light-skinned and the desire to bleach in order to be light-skinned have got two different consequences. You can desire to be light-skinned and not bleach your skin, and still desire to be light-skinned. When you desire to be light-skinned and you bleach your skin, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to become more beautiful. But I do think that when people make judgments about women or men who choose to bleach their skin, it is probably from a value judgment in which they assume that the rational choice would be not to do something that is dangerous.
I remember I was watching an episode of Love and Hip Hop where one of the ladies wanted to bleach her skin. Essentially what she was saying is that I am a dark-skinned woman, I am talented, I can sing, I've made charts in Jamaica, however, now that I'm in America, I'm not getting the same feedback that I was receiving in Jamaica. However, if I had to go light-skinned right now, you guys are going to take me more seriously.
I think that majority of trophy wives are lighter skinned. Like if we see people that you would define as a trophy wife, it's usually society's ideal pretty woman.
People assume that people who are lighter skinned are more approachable, more beautiful, but they also assume that they are more intelligent. They also assume that they are kinder. They also assume that they're more honest, where they also assume that they have better hold on their emotions. Usually on TV, when people talk about an angry black woman, she's not a light-skinned woman.
When you see a politician or like any affluent person with a darker skinned woman, it's, oh, she's respectable, oh, she's a wife. But as soon as they're light-skinned or pretty or like the connotations, they have to be a trophy wife.
Funny enough, I grew up very dark. Like, it was very, very dark. My sister recently, she was like, you're becoming lighter, but it was only because I was on things for my skin. Because I was on like pills for my skin to make my skin clearer and better and whatnot that were prescribed to me by the dermatologist. Being a kid who was dark-skinned, where people, your first call of bashing me is my skin tone. You're like, dude, you're dark. And because I'm dark, you automatically assume I'm ugly. You don't give me a chance to look at me and think, oh, she's a very pretty girl.
I also got bullied for being light-skinned. I was too light for people. It wasn't an advantage. At the time, it was being deviant. And it was funny because, like you mentioned, like how people use your skin tone first. Even my nickname growing up was being the light one. I'm big enough and grown enough to understand and to look back as well, to look at my reality, understand that I'm privileged in ways that some people probably aren't, and I probably am able to enter rooms or get attention that some might not because of my skin tone. But it's also worth mentioning that all those things are very surface level because I've had to learn that people find things pretty to take.
I think that I would love to tell younger me to actually talk to people, do more reading about these things, and find what she defines as beautiful, what she defines as black, and what she defines as what she wants to be defined by.
My melanin is powerful. It threatens the ignorant, challenges the misinformed. My articulation intimidates. It demands respect the moment I speak. And all I've ever had to be was black.